The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. The mother of the sons of Zebedee approached Jesus with her sons and did him homage, wishing to ask him for something. He said to her, "What do you wish?" She answered him, "Command that these two sons of mine sit, one at your right and the other at your left, in your kingdom." Jesus said in reply, "You do not know what you are asking. Can you drink the chalice that I am going to drink?" And they said to him, "We can." He replied, "My chalice you will indeed drink, but to sit at my right and at my left, this is not mine to give, but is for those for whom it has been prepared by my Father." When the 10 heard this, they became indignant at the two brothers. But Jesus summoned them and said, "You know that the rulers of the Gentiles lord it over them, and the great ones make their authority over them felt. But it shall not be so among you. Rather, whoever wishes to be great among you shall be your servant, and whoever wishes to be first among you shall be your slave. Just so, the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve and to give his life as a ransom for many." The Gospel of the Lord. Walang adlaw ka natong tanan og happy fiesta. Today's Gospel reading speaks really intently on the feast that we are celebrating, where James, the brother of John, were actually figured out, but in quite a rather negative light. Now, the negativity of this impression in the episode is even lessened already. Why? Because the considered original gospel written, which is the Gospel of St. Mark, it was not the mother of James and John who went to Jesus actually, but James and John were the ones who actually went to Jesus and asked the request. So in order to tone down or to mellow down the negative impression of leaders of the church having so high ambitions, St. Matthew reworked in his gospel. Here I am talking like a professor teaching my students synoptics. Because St. Matthew does not want that the disciples would appear very ambitious. So it was the mother going to him. But anyway, the answer of Jesus was addressed not to the woman, not to the mother, but to the disciple, James and John, and even to the other disciples. And part of this answer of Jesus, a question, can you drink the cup or the chalice that I'm going to drink, which is none other than martyrdom or suffering, has been realized and fulfilled by St. James himself. He, as we said at the beginning of the Mass, being the first of the 12 apostles to have died as a martyr. That's why I'm wearing red. The martyrdom of this first apostle, James by name, who followed the Lord together with Peter, Andrew, John his brother, and being the first to be martyred as a witness to the faith that he has embraced by following the Lord, even to the point of giving up his life. And it is in this context that our own understanding and struggles in the faith also had to lead us. Yes, we are here talking about an apostle being martyred, among other saints who were martyred to shed their blood and to cultivate the faith of the church. But there is also what we call a bloodless martyrdom, when we openly and wholeheartedly embrace in answering the challenge of the Lord to follow him, to be his disciples and apostles in this modern world. Sufferings and things that we encounter as we deal with our very own families, our friends, and people who are close to us, precisely because they do not follow what the Lord says to us. And we who try to follow are even martyred because of the things that they do or even criticize, not just physically, but morally in a way. And so as we continue with this Eucharistic celebration, putting in mind and giving importance to this great example of James, the greater, the apostle, let us offer to the Lord the many different kinds and ways of being martyred in our own times, and we offer them with great love and thanksgiving to Him. Amen.